it's Jay-Z.
This is 50 Cent, you heard me, 50 Cent.
It's your boy Weezy F, baby, man.
Check, 1, 2, yo.
Yo, check it out, y'all. It's your boy Twister in the house.
This is Missy Misdemeanor.
What's cracking, baby? This is David Banner.
What's up? This is Beyonce.
Yeah. This your boy Fabulous.
Hey, what the business is, homie? It's your boy T.I.P., man. Rubber Band, man.
This is Usher, and you're listening to
The Mr. Soul Show.
Yeah! What's happening, baby? It's your man DJ Mr. Soul. This is the Mr. Soul Show. Welcome to the inside, man. I appreciate y'all for tapping in. O&E, what's happening? Shout out to our national, international listeners. We broadcast live from the middle of the United States right here in Omaha, Nebraska, baby. I'm feeling like I'm big time today, man. I'm feeling like I'm real big time today. I got some very, very special guests that are in the studio with me today, and I'm very proud to have them there. You know, we all know, if you don't know, you're about to know, my man Tony Vargas, running for our Congress out here. How you doing, my guy?
I'm good.
You good?
Good, yeah.
You look good, man. Do you dress yourself or do your wife dress you, my guy?
Oh, no, I dress myself. But my wife makes sure that I still look good.
Right,
yeah. She'll still make sure.
Yeah, so like we was talking a little bit earlier. We met at the Terrence Crawford parade. Well, you rolled up on me with your kids like, hey, man, how you doing? What's going on? Which I thought that was real cool because a lot of people especially won't do that, you know, being a politician. Just keep it 100. So I appreciated that, man. Appreciated that. Yeah. So shout out to Precious because I think she was there.
Yes.
And let you know, go talk to that DJ right there.
No.
And so yeah.
Yeah, that matters. I mean, we're also like we're out and about with my kids. You know, we're part of the community, and I also want my kids to see what it looks like for, you know, what does it look like to be part of a community? What does it look like to make sure that we are out and about everywhere? And I've been elected office for these last 8 years in the state legislature. So,
all right, how'd you end up in Nebraska?
It's my wife, man. My wife's entire family tree is from Nebraska. Okay. We've been here for the last 13 years. This is where we've lived our entire adult life. But my wife's family, one side's from Columbus, the other side's from Omaha. We came here so she can go to law school. Okay. And we stayed because we loved it. We fell in love with the community, fell in love with the people. They were kind enough to accept me and also elect me to office. And I've been able to represent and do good things these last 11 years in elected office.
All right, I feel like this. Don't take this the wrong way. Okay?
No, you're good.
Right, don't take this the wrong way. There are a few types of people that I'm like, there's got to be something different with them mentally, right? Not in a bad way, just different. Boxers, football players, MMA players, hockey players, rugby players, politicians. So my thing is, you got to have a certain mindset. You got to have a certain, I want to do this. There's got to be a certain passion in there because you know you're jumping into the fire. There's nothing about politics that's easy. There's nothing about politics that's going to represent what you think it should represent. True. Until you get in the fire, and then you got to work with a bunch of different people. And sometimes you don't get done what you want done. So when I'm pretty sure you knew all this before you got in, right? You was probably sitting with the wifey and the family like, yo, we about to get into this politics and we're going to see what we're doing. And somebody said, whoa. You sure you want to do this?
It's true.
And you did it.
Yes, we did.
How did we get there?
We did. Well, one, I think it matters where I started off my career. I was a middle school science teacher. I mean, first of all, shout out to all the public school teachers, right? Like when I was a middle school science teacher, I had 165 kids, and it ain't easy.
Talk about it.
Yeah.
Lord.
I mean, this was full classes. Also my kids taught me, like, you know, this is, you got to be able to command a classroom. You got to be able to build a culture. You got to be able to build the respect. Right. And they got to have community and support. And that's what took me from, if I can work with my kids in a classroom. My kids did amazing my first year. I got teacher of the year my first year.
Let's go.
That is what reminded me, look, like our communities are just like our classrooms. We need to build culture. We need to help and support one another. We need to lift everybody up. And this is the reason why I became a school board member for OPS. And then from there, I realized all these other politicians, I mean, they don't have anything different from me. The difference between me and them is I love this community. I care about this community. I want to be a part of it. And because I want to be a part of it, I know that there's things that we need to improve. We need somebody that's never going to forget where they came from in that position, working and fighting on behalf and alongside the people.
Okay, so what originally are you? What from New York? What state?
New York. Born in Queens, and then I was a teacher in Brooklyn because of an AmeriCorps program. Okay, and then we moved here in 2012, 2013.
All right.
We've lived our entire adult life pretty much here in Nebraska.
That was a setup question, right?
Yeah, it was a setup question.
So with that being said, do you ever run into your people from your hometown like, really, you're going to give all that love to Nebraska? You can't come over here and give that love to us?
You know, I do. But I'm very defensive about Nebraska now, bro. I mean, it's
Okay.
been, especially now, because we got married here. My wife graduated from law school here. Her entire family tree is here.
Okay.
You know, I've been in office, and I got 2 born and raised Nebraska kids.
Okay.
My 5 and
All
3
right.
year olds. So I'm very defensive about Nebraska, bro.
Yeah, okay.
Like very, very,
Yeah.
very defensive. And, you know, it's funny because, you know, I'm proud to be defensive about Nebraska. I love this place. This is a place that like welcomed me and supported me. And now these last 13 years has entrusted me to be a partner in the community.
87.9, the coach of DJ Mrs. Soul Show. We got Tony Vargas here running for Congress again. Man, look here. When you bring out heat, when you bring out like superstar status type people, man, you looked in the phone and roll the decks like, let me see. Nah. Big time. You went and got this gentleman right here, the one and only, the leader. How you feeling over there, my guy?
Good. What up? It's good to be here.
Good. Is this your first time in Nebraska or no?
No, it's my second time in Nebraska, but first time on the one and only show
Okay,
with
yeah.
Mr. Soul.
Come on, man. You know
Yeah.
I'm clipping that, right?
All right.
I'm going to clip that right there. HAKEEM Jeffries here, man. See, you always supporting Tony. So this must be a very important seat you want to get to. So I want to jump right into that with you, because for you to come from Washington, come from Brooklyn to Nebraska, explain to the people, but explain to the people why you have to come and do this stump with Tony.
Well, this is an incredibly important seat in an incredibly important state. First of all, we know at the top of the ticket, in terms of the 2nd congressional district, that single electoral vote can make the difference between a president, Kamala Harris,
Right.
or going back to where we were with the former president and
Right.
turning back the clock.
Right.
So that in and of itself is significant. But we, of course, also want to make sure that when we elect a Kamala Harris, that the House of Representatives can partner with her
Right.
on doing the things that we need to do for the community and for the people, focusing on work and wages and wealth and growing the middle class and creating economic opportunity, and of course, dealing with the justice issues that still remain
Right.
unresolved in our community. We are 4 seats short in terms of Democrats taking back control of the United States House
Right.
of Representatives. 4 seats short.
Right.
Now, there are seats all across the country, but this particular one has an amazing candidate, Tony Vargas. He's been in the community. He served the community.
Right.
He's of the community in terms of engaging. He's got the right background, the right mindset, and the right commitment to get the job done. After the election. After the election.
All right, it's going down 87.9 coaches. So you guys got this Brooklyn Connect. Did that have anything to do with what you easily
Oh, no, that's
linking
just
up?
coincidence.
Oh,
But
really?
it's not-
Really? Really?
It was a coincidence, yeah. When I first heard about Tony, it was in the context of, a Nebraska state senator who was exploring a race in Congress, learned about his background, his experience as a teacher,
Right.
The American journey that he's
Right.
traveled, his family. And I said, okay, I want to get to know this guy. And, when I got to know him, I saw he was real, authentic, and certainly committed. And this particular congressional district is diverse. It has a significant African-American community,
Right.
very meaningful.
Right.
And, I wanted to make sure as I travel throughout the country that the communities I interact with
Right.
get the type of representation that I know will deliver for them.
Right.
And Tony seemed to be exactly the right person in that capacity.
87.9 the coach, HAKEEM Jeffries here, Tony Vargas here. All right, as a community, a constituent of Omaha, Nebraska, I've seen politicians come. I've seen politicians go. I've heard the promises. I heard the promises not being made when we put them in office. So I'm going to ask you for him. Like, why do you think Tony can continue and give the promises of the platform, the policies, he can get those done?
Well, when I look at what he's already been able to do in terms of the track record of the constituents that he currently represents now, as he transitions from the Nebraska State Senate to the Congress, he'll represent hundreds of thousands of people more than he currently represents.
Right.
But when I look at
Right.
his current constituency,
Right.
He's got to work. He's been one of the most effective legislators in the state Senate, the Nebraska legislature.
Right.
He's made promises. He's kept those promises. He's a fighter. He's a champion. And I know that he'll come in. He'll be part of the culture, part of the House Democratic Caucus, and part of what we're trying to build in terms of moving America forward, not turning back the clock, bringing people together, building that opportunity economy. that President Harris has talked about, and Vice President Harris, soon to be hopefully President Harris. The thing that I've noticed and want to make sure we point out to the community, President Obama had 2 years with a Democratic House. Only two.
I was going to go there, but you already went there. Go.
Well, yeah, only two. Republicans took over in his last 6 years, and they blocked him
Everything.
from getting anything done thereafter legislatively.
Right.
And that's a problem. We can't have that same kind of setup when we break this barrier and elect Kamala Harris.
Right. So this is a broad question, really quick, and I'm gonna come back to that, right? As a person who follows politics, I used to be a deep dive, but y'all was driving me crazy, right? Not y'all particularly, like just the media, right? You know what I'm saying? We're just like, come on, man, this is y'all doing too much.
It's too much.
Right. Yeah. So with that being said, how is it that we have a whole side that will perpetuate extreme lies? We're not talking about, oh, that's just a little lie and got a little truth in it. We're talking about extreme lies, right? And then you guys have to go out in the platform and dismiss it in the most political, polite way, instead of saying, man, you lying. How come y'all can't just say, you lying? Shut up, here go the facts. Why do y'all gotta do it in a way that it's so, like, are they really lying? Because you didn't sound like you think they're lying. Tony.
Well, I mean, I can tell you this. One, you're right. I mean, the amount of misinformation and the amount of lies that are coming out, I mean, what we saw on January 6th is happening because we have this extreme wing of elected officials across the country. And there's an extreme wing of the Republican Party that just continues to not want to actually govern. I mean, this is the most ineffective Congress in history. And it's not because, I mean, look, right now, HAKEEM Jeffries, Leader Jeffries, has been pushing, representing, and has been leading. Yeah. But it's the Republicans in Congress right now with their majority where they can't get anything done.
Nothing.
And then in addition, they're not actually getting anything done for the working class people. They're not trying to address cost of living. They're not trying to lower taxes for the middle class. They're not trying to make sure childcare is more affordable. They're not trying to make sure housing is more affordable. Instead, they care about Donald Trump and doing whatever it takes to meet his needs. So it wasn't surprising to me that Don Bacon was so proud of Donald Trump's endorsement about a month ago.
Right.
You know, this is telling me they care more about the political party and powers that be than they care about the American people.
It's interesting because America's in a state that I almost don't even understand, right? It's not like I'm super old. I think me and you about the same age. So you might be the baby in the room.
I might be. I just turned 40. I just turned 40, y'all.
Oh, yeah, you the baby. You just getting started. You just getting started right here. So here's what bugs me out, man, is the fact that the slogan of Make America Great Again somehow works, right? But I've never gotten the answer of what that is when you say Make America Great Again, right? And then there's a few things I'm pretty sure you guys know about it. You guys know more than this about me. Is like, my man is running and they keep talking about, talk about when, economy was good and everybody was great. But I personally just haven't seen, except for when Obama just hit the stoop when he's like, yo, that was my economy. Like, how come we're not hearing more of that to let them know, like, this wasn't this guy, right? And he wanted you to drink bleach.
Yeah. Well, connecting the two questions. First of all, he's out of control, and he's been out of control from the moment that he hit the scene in terms of Donald Trump. And what has happened is Donald Trump has radicalized the Republican Party. And Donald Trump doesn't care about everyday Americans. He just cares about himself.
There's a whole clip of him saying, I don't care about you. I just want your vote. Like, I saw that. That's crazy.
It's crazy. And I think so as a result, this extreme MAGA Republican group now, led by Donald Trump, facts don't matter. Hypocrisy is not a constraint to their behavior.
Right.
And they've actually concluded that shamelessness is a superpower.
Right.
So we've got to do two things, combining your first question with your last question. One, we have to continue to articulate a vision that, listen, we're going to put people over politics. We're going to solve problems for you.
Right.
We're going to deliver real results.
Right.
And that's going to be our focus. Lower costs, grow the middle class, make sure we combat the affordable housing crisis with the fierce urgency of now build an economy that works for people in the community. But at the same period of time, we also have to be willing to forcefully call out the lies that are being put forth as part of their intense disinformation campaign.
Right.
And we'll continue to do that. President Obama, of course, has articulated that explanation. Donald Trump mismanaged the once-in-a-century pandemic, to your point.
Man,
it was out of control.
That was different.
And by the way, it was different, and people in our community died as a result.
It got close to 1 million, like in the United States alone, right?
That's correct. It actually, and at some point, it actually went over 1 million.
Come on, man. Stop with the hygiene.
My dad was one of them, man.
Pull it up, stop it. That junior wicked.
Culture, baby. I am DJ Mr. So. Appreciate y'all for tapping in. We got Tony Vargas here. We got HAKEEM Jeffries here. And we're trying to make sure that Tony gets a seat in Congress. So with that being said, all of these things being said, I've talked to people, and sometimes within myself. It don't matter who's in position. It don't matter who the president is or was. I look around sometimes like nothing has changed in my life. So how do you get the people who have that mentality? I don't care if it's Tony. I don't care if it's Jack. I don't care if it's Jeff. It doesn't matter. Nothing has changed. So how do you reach those people?
Well, I'll say two things. One, I think record does matter. And in the legislature these last 8 years, I have been trying to make sure that for every person that actually feels that way, that we are trying to be responsive to it, which is, I understand why you feel that way, but that's not going to be me. You know, we've passed more than 70 bills into law. We worked on the Economic Development East Side Recovery Act, which brought about $300 million to East Omaha.
Can I stop you down? Can I stop you right quick?
Yeah.
All right, because we hear that like, we passed bills. Give me a bill.
Let's see. Public health infrastructure, $20 million infrastructure for preventative health care all across the state of Nebraska.
Talk about it.
Working with federally qualified health centers like Charles Drew.
Talk about it.
Working to make sure we do affordable housing, $300 million affordable housing.
Talk about it.
Job creation, economic
stop you there. If they don't
higher
stop,
education,
I'm stop you right there. It's
first
like
generation college graduates.
Bars right now. Spitting bars.
But I mean, like every single solution has either been in healthcare, in jobs, in education, in workforce, because I want people to be able to have a little bit more of the American dream than my parents had that I'm having right now.
Right.
It's hard out there.
Right.
And if you don't have somebody that lives and breathes that, my parents worked on factory lines. Like I'm first generation college graduate.
Right.
I have been a public school science teacher. I do not have a silver spoon in my mouth. Right. And I think it matters when you got people, unfortunately, like Don Bacon that's been in office and takes like $6 million from special interests and cares more about doing their bidding than they do care about doing the actual work of the people.
Right. So you guys are really good at this because I'm like, my questions will be ready and then you'll just give me the layup. All right. So with that being said, this is what I look at, man. One of the most egregious things that's happening in the United States is our mass shootings. Particularly, I'm talking about in schools, right? I know you can't read the minds and understand the people who will not like make better gun laws, right? So I'm saying, how is it that people who support guns, which is not a problem, I have no problem with people supporting guns, have your gun, go hunt, do what you want to do with the gun. But when it's killing your own kids, like this is beyond a racial thing. This is beyond an economic, social status thing. How can y'all fight these people who say, no, more guns, blow the kids' heads off?
It's crazy that people can watch the carnage that we see in our schools and shopping malls and churches, mosques, synagogues, other places where people are congregating to be able to just live their lives. And at the drop of a hat, someone can walk in with a weapon of war and end dozens of lives in some instances. And where's the decency in refusing to say, you know what? We can be better as a society. There's a difference between guns that are used to hunt deer and weapons of war that are used to cut down and slaughter children.
Right.
And we should be able to draw that distinction. And our view is that we can begin in a bipartisan way, working with common sense people, hopefully on the other side of the aisle, but this will be led by Democrats like Tony, to say that if someone wants to purchase a gun, they should at least have to go through a background check.
Right.
So that we can have some degree of confidence that that gun won't subsequently be used to turn around and hurt people in your family, hurt your friends, hurt your neighbors,
Right.
hurt your coworkers. And in the Congress right now, Republicans refuse to even enact common sense, bipartisan background check legislation that's universal. That's just one thing that we can do. Now, in America, we've got 4% of the world's population, but 40% of the world's guns.
Yeah,
That means there are more than 400 million guns circulating throughout the country. That's crazy.
So that's, what is that, 100 more million guns than people?
That's right.
Correct?
That's right.
It's going down.
And one thing I'll add on this, when you talk about progress, when there was a gun safety bipartisan legislation that passed in the House and the Senate, there were 29 Republicans that came across the aisle to actually focus on making and taking a step forward.
Right. Okay.
Congressman Bacon voted no against it. When it comes to an actual bipartisan bill that makes our community safer from gun violence and mass shootings, he said, nope, not on my watch. And I think it matters that we also call out, the realities of when you say you care about a community, but then you vote against their interests and the safety of our community and our kids and our churches and our every single aspect of our neighborhoods.
It's going down. HAKEEM Jeffries, Tony Vargas here, DJ Mr. Soda, Mr. Soul Show. All right, I'm going to wrap this up on y'all. Know y'all probably got to get somewhere, do something. It's a Sunday, so thank you for coming in the morning. Thank myself, too.
No, appreciate you making this time.
Great to be here, man.
Yeah, so with that being said, I got one more thing, man. What I've been noticing is the same kind of, I want to say, feelings from people. Right? When I say people, I'm talking about here in Omaha. That guy, I asked this to Terrell McKinney when I did a podcast interview with him. How can we get the I'm not going to vote people to vote? Like, how do we get past these people thinking, Tony, you lying to me? You know what I'm saying? HAKEEM, yeah, I've been seeing you look like Jay-Z forever. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, not look like Jay-Z, but the hands. You talk with your hands. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you rap?
Brooklyn.
Do you rap?
Nah, I think when I was growing up, I had two aspirations: point guard for the New York Knicks, or MC.
Hooper.
Neither worked out, so I'm in Congress.
I thought I could rap, but you see where I'm at.
My man. So this is big though. What you're doing?
All right. So, but one-on-one, you were Obama.
Well,
hooping.
Yeah, I mean, listen, he's got a little bit of a J, but I'm a little younger at this point, so I'm thinking of one-on-one, I might be able to take him.
Y'all heard it here first. Y'all heard it first.
Look,
y'all heard that, right?
And we're gonna have to play ball too sometime.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, I do. Yeah,
Come
we did an ad of me playing ball because I played in high school.
I seen it, but
yes, I know.
You wasn't hooping, man. You shot the free throw.
No, I can hoop. I can hoop.
I'm not saying
I'm gonna beat Leader Jeffries. I mean, like, look, we're gonna see.
Tony got some height though.
Hold on.
Some height.
Hold on, Tony. You never say that. You know that. As a competitor, you don't know if you can beat him.
Oh, well, I gotta be kind. I gotta be kind to my friend.
No, you kidding me, man? Would you be kind to him?
Probably not.
See, come on, Tony.
Not balling.
That's what I'm talking about, hooping. We talk about hooping. All right, let's get back to my original question, man. How do we get those who say they don't want to vote?
Well, I think it's important, one, Tony has a track record, for instance, so he can point to things in healthcare, in education, in housing, that he's already been able to do to make life better for people here in Omaha, and in the state of Nebraska.
Right.
Now, that's not to say reward him, but it is a foundation to say you can trust him, that he knows we need to do more.
Right.
And what we're saying to people is, look, we hear you, we see you, we're going to make life better for you. We know that there's a lot of work that needs to be done, but we're not just talking about it, we are about it. And the proof of that is the track record.
You sure you didn't rap?
A little bit.
Tony, your take on this?
Yeah, look, I did not grow up thinking about politics. No, I don't think the word Democrat, Republican ever came up in my household growing up. What did come up was how do we help each other? I got two older brothers and one of three boys. My mom is literally a saint, and they just worked all the time. So when I tell people I was not born and raised into this, and this is the reason why when I've been in it, I try to stay grounded. I try to stay connected to the community. I'm not going to ever forget where I came from, and I feel held accountable to people. So when people tell me, look, I don't think my vote matters, I tell them, I understand why you can feel that way. I felt that way in times. My parents have felt that way. My family has. But when you have an opportunity and when you're connecting with somebody that actually is from the community, feels held accountable to it.
Right.
You mentioned Senator McKinney.
Yeah.
That matters. And this is the reason why I'm asking people to take both the trust they've entrusted in me as a legislator and say, like, we need some working class parents, some working class individuals in Congress. We need younger generation in Congress. We need somebody that is a first generation American in Congress, that is son of working class people in Congress, that doesn't forget where they came from. And that's what I ask people.
Man, Tony, once y'all vote, appreciate you for coming in, but I got one more thing for you. All right? I need you to take off the tie. I need you to take off the jacket, take off the glasses, right? Figuratively.
Okay.
All right.
Figuratively.
Right.
Okay.
Figuratively.
Got you. I was like, am I about to do this? Am I about to take off my tie?
No. And I want you to take off I want Tony.
Yeah, what's up?
Just you, the person. The person you said, I didn't hear about Republican. I didn't even hear about Democrat, right?
That's true.
What about that person don't we know, right? We know what y'all tell us. We know what the opposition tell us. Because there was a question that I wanted to get into about one of the commercials they running against you, but I decided not to touch it. All right. Yeah. So with that being said, and offline, I want to get you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
I want to ask you about it. All right. Yeah. So Tony, my real name is Daryl. Not DJ Mr. Soul right now. Right. Tell me something about you. Hey man, how you doing, man? Tell me something about yourself.
Oh, let me tell you. I love my kids. I got 2 kids, my daughter Ava, my son Luca. I really do. I mean, like, that's my favorite thing to do right now, which is hang out with them and try to be a role model for them. And in this day and age, especially with being in politics, and it's hard, but I want them to be part of the community. And I love basketball. Like I said, I love movies. In particular, my dad and I mentioned this, COVID-19 was hard because I lost my dad. Oh man, my condolences, my brother. No, I appreciate it. He was a factory worker. He was a union worker. So he was still working. He was 72 years old. So I really do. We would go every single Saturday in the morning. We'd go to like a matinee and we'd go see movies all day. My dad loved mafia movies. We'd see like Scarface. We'd see when there was these old movie theaters. We would go to those to see like $5 to see, all these movies. Right. And so when I say I love movies, this is why I take my kids to the movies, because it's a sort of a remembrance to my dad. Okay. And he was a big believer in my campaign, and he freaking hated politics, but he loved me. Right. And he believed supported you, right? Yeah, he supported me. He supported me. And he didn't get to see me do this, run for Congress. He didn't see. Right. He got to see me and knock doors. I mean, he hustled and knocked on doors. My dad, I'm first of all surprised that he even knocked on doors for me when I ran for the legislature. Right. But he did it because he wanted to believe that it could be different, and he saw it through my eyes and through my work. That's good. You know what I get out of that, my guy? Family first, right? And I'm gonna throw this up in the air. You can hit it away or you can catch this, right? This is just my opinion. You have a fear of letting people down. I do. Are you gonna catch it? Okay. Yeah, this is the reason why. This is the reason why I hustle. This is totally the reason why I keep trying to do more and more and more. Yeah, it's true. All right, this is going down. HAKEEM Jeffries, I appreciate you for stepping in. Tony Vargas, I appreciate y'all for stepping in. And let y'all know, listen to me, audience, once y'all get to this right here. This was an exclusive. Yeah. We're in Omaha, Nebraska. Let's go. I got the only fly interview in the state. Let's go. Peace, 87.9 The Coach. I appreciate y'all for tapping in. Make sure y'all tune in tomorrow, because it's going to go down tomorrow. Hey, what it do? What?
Are you ready?
Yeah. Hey, this is Janet, and you're in the mix with Mr. Soul.
Kanye to my homeboy, Mr. Soul. We definitely bringing that good music to the streets right now. What up? This is Ludacris. Damn it gets no realer. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Biatch, let's go. Disturbing the beat. Yo, what's up? It's Morris Chestnut. Hanging out with my man, Mr. Soul, putting it down.
Yo, what it is. It's your man Twister getting it in Midwest style. From the streets to the ballroom. You know I'm doing my thing with DJ Mr. Soul. That's how we got it cracking. Chi-Town Connect.